Hey soldier, let's get right tonight.
Here I go, sweep my lungs out and try to get to you. You are my only one. I let go, but there's just no one that gets me like you do. You are my only one.
What is good? Welcome to the Solgr and Fusha Only show. I am Solgr Only.
And here is the one and only Fusha as well, every Sunday.
Welcome to this week's episode. We got a lot to get into this week, especially in Destiny news. There was
Yes, there's a
the
huge
biggest kind of news we'll get into
leak. Yeah,
eventually.
It was something they're not denying either.
Yeah, from what I've heard, there hasn't been any denial yet. So, one thing I want to get into right off the bat is the whole Mass Effect thing, because that actually came out, I think it was it just this last Tuesday, or was it?
Yeah, it was just this last Tuesday.
Yeah,
My
just this
sister
last
and brother-in-law have been playing it since.
Yeah, and from talking with them yesterday, I mean, they're both huge Mass Effect fans. Like, huge. I mean, especially, I mean, your brother-in-law, I know, is a big one, but especially your sister.
Yeah.
Like, she's a huge Mass Effect fan of the original trilogy. So they were both really hyped and looking forward to it. I mean, the hype, it's an interesting game so far, because I did make a video on it, and I did talk a little bit about it on Sports Nerd Web Weekly that day, because it actually only got a 6 out of 10 reviewed by is it IGN or GameStop or GameSpot. It might have been GameSpot that gave it a 6 out of 10. I can't remember. It was either IGN or GameSpot. I can't believe I'm forgetting this right now, but I think it was GameSpot. But whatever. But regardless, yeah, they gave it a 6 out of 10, and obviously, this game had big shoes to fill with how critically acclaimed and how well regarded the original trilogy is. And some of the complaints are that like a lot of players aren't liking the animation, like the facial animation. They're thinking that it's really wooden, and it kind of pulls them out of the experience. And that's what Mass Effect is. That's what it's known for, is being a game with amazing story. You can make your own decisions and stuff and kind of shape the outcome of it, you know? Like, when we've had conversations with your sister and brother-in-law, we've heard them talk about his playthrough and her playthrough, and we've heard how different it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your brother-in-law did mass genocide pretty much.
Mass genocide, and is upset that a race is still survived that he committed genocide on.
In the original trilogy, right? Yeah, and then in Andromeda.
But in the story timeline, they had just left. That race had left right before Josh's his genocide, and now they're still alive. And he's like, "I killed them. What? Why are they still alive?" But yeah, and I really want to get into it. We haven't really had the chance to play it ourselves, but we will here soon.
Yeah, we ain't even got it yet. Excuse me, I'm kind of eating something right now, but
You're fine. It's been one of those days.
yeah, I know. I just streamed for 9 hours. I haven't really ate. I mean, I did make some sandwiches earlier, but when you were gone. But that steak is good.
I told you it's damn good. It has like a little bit of spice to it.
That's like a steak, if I can cook, that I would make.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the kind of steak I'd make myself if I can cook.
I did tell my mom that you like her cooking when I do bring leftovers.
It's good.
It's really good.
That's like one of the best steaks I've had. Like, that's really good. I like that spice to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we haven't even gotten Mass Effect yet. Remember, I've been tossing around the idea if we're even getting it for PC or
Xbox or, but I think
if I don't get it for
be...
PC, it's going to be PS4 Pro. It's
Really?
either going to be PC or the Pro.
Are you running out of room on the Xbox?
No, it's just the Pro is
Pro.
more powerful. You know.
True.
Another thing,
for the
another.
P3P, what if you got it and played with Josh?
That's true. That's true. I actually might get it for the Xbox. Actually, for the PvP. That's right. I haven't heard much about the multiplayer component of it though, so
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say on as far as that's concerned. I mean, I have an interesting. I mean, it's interesting with me with Mass Effect because
Sorry,
I haven't played the trilogy. I've only played. I mean, we went out and bought the trilogy, so we have it. But I've only played a little bit of one. I'm trying to play through. I've been trying to play through it, but I don't know. Maybe I should just start streaming it or something. You know, like that's going to be the way I play it is if I stream it, because all I do is stream. You know.
That's true, and it would be a good game to stream. I know not too many people are streaming what you would be because you're going back and not replaying, but playing all of it for the first time. You know. I mean, I think it would be good because you would finally have the chance to actually play it.
Well, you know what's funny? I mean, obviously, most of the streamers I watch are Destiny streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because leading up to this release of Mass Effect, they were all streaming the trilogy. Like T-Rex, Professor Roman's brother, he actually streamed the full trilogy. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, leading up to the Andromeda release.
That's sick.
And he did it over maybe like a month or a few weeks, maybe. At least, I mean, he was streaming it every day for a while. He didn't play like any Destiny. Yeah, we'll get to Destiny too. Yeah, because we have a few things up there. But another thing that issues that the review had with Andromeda was also like technical issues, and it said on the review that the versions they reviewed was the PS4 and the PC, so it's not like it's just the PC version, you know, because we've been hearing a lot of this in game releases lately, that the PC version has been, like, struggling, like, with, like, technical issues, you know, frame rate dips, lag, stuff like that. A lot of people were worried about the Ghost Recon Wildlands beta, because, remember the beta when I played on PC, and I did run into some of the issues as well. But when the final game came out, I haven't had any issues since playing it. I played like 15 hours of the beta, and I've played about 16, 17 hours of the final game, both on PC and the final. They were able to get it patched. I think they probably did have a day one patch. Most games do come out with day one patches now. But yeah, your sister and brother-in-law, they're loving it. I mean. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess he played for like 6, 7, 8 hours straight, and then like yesterday she had been playing it all day, and he's like, "No, I don't want to go to the store. You go to the store."
Well, now they're even tempted to get a second Xbox so that they can both play it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. I mean, especially.
Goals.
I mean, yeah, they would need some. I mean, because they only have like the one TV, right? I mean,
The one in the front room.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they could play out there. I meant like in their room, because. I mean, we can both play together in the same room, because I have my 2 monitors over here, you have the TV over there, you know, so, like, but, yeah, they would have to do, like, living room, bedroom type thing. Mm. But, yeah, I'm still really looking forward to it. I still want to get it. I still want to play the hell out of it. The reviews and the stuff that I've heard so far aren't wavering my hype or decision to get it in any way. Yeah. Like, none whatsoever.
Yeah, and I know you've really wanted it, and we were going to get it for you. It's just we ended up getting the keyboard. Because, I mean, had we not gotten the keyboard, we would have gotten you the Mass Effect.
Yeah, we easily would have, and I really wanted to upgrade the keyboard. It was one of those,
this or that, and the keyboard was for a really great deal, because we got a really good deal. We got it for, like, more than half off.
Yeah, we got pretty much, I mean, it was, like, $180 on Amazon.
Yeah, and if you follow our Instagram, you would see the video he posted of the lighting on the keyboard as well, so, yeah. Yeah,
it's the Corsair Strafe RGB, and this thing has endless possibilities. It's so awesome, especially because I downloaded the software that you download with it so that you can control all the lighting and all that. And it's cool because a lot of RGB stuff, yeah, you can change the color, but it's just that set color. But this, remember I showed you in the color wheel, like when you can choose, like in apps and stuff, how you can choose a color. It's like in a wheel, so you can get every little shade and tone. Mm-hmm. That light will light that shade or whatever it is.
It's
so
not
it's not like it's
preset
just
base colors,
exactly, yeah, exactly.
which is really, really cool.
Yeah, which is like what the PC does. You've seen when I get that flashing, you can even see on our remote. That's like the only colors the LEDs that it has inside of it. It's just these. But with the keyboard, it can be all those little tones that you can get in
But then you end up with black if you mix all the colors.
Well, it's kind of funny because black technically is the absence of color.
True.
You know what I mean? Like it's strange. Like if you want to be like a technical dick, so to speak, when anyone says like the color black, you can always be like, black's not a color; it's the absence of color.
You would think white would be though.
Being a punk. Well, you kind of would, just because white is looked at as being like plain, like blank paper's white.
Nothing's there. It's
You know
still
what I mean?
anew.
White, I mean, I'm trying to remember what it is, what they consider white. Like if black is the absence of color, white is like
The light color.
Yeah, I can't remember what they call it.
The creator of color.
It's like
I don't know.
I know. It's late. We're recording this this week way later than we usually did.
Yeah, it's a busy day. It's my niece's birthday next weekend, so there was a dinner, and then I had to run errands and do laundry. It's been a busy day on the get-go from the beginning of this morning with coffee.
Right, yeah.
Which I noticed you posted those, and I was like, oh my god.
I put it on Twitter, too.
Yeah, and I was like, I love you. And even my sister loved it, too. And I showed my mom and them, and they're like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, see, no shame in my game. I don't give a but I thought it was adorable, too, when I went onto Facebook and saw that you actually posted it, because I was like, oh.
I know. I mean, I told you I was going to, but I didn't, show it to you. Here, look what I'm doing.
I know, I remember you waking me up with the coffee and then showing me the picture that you're like, see, I just took you, and I'm like, huh? Oh, coffee?
I know, I took the picture before I even woke you up.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
But yeah, I mean, remember last night when we were going to bed, I was like, should we do the podcast, kind of at the beginning of the day before, before I stream, before you leave and all that?
But that would have been at, 10 a.m.
It would have been. I mean, and we've always uploaded our podcast kind of in the evening, later evening.
We really need to get a set schedule.
That's funny. That's exactly what I was going to say next, because once we start streaming them, we have to have a set time. It's important, just like I told you on my stream. I'm really precise about starting at
being
11.
Consistent. Yeah. So yeah, if you tune in every Sunday and you listen to our podcast, we're working on becoming more consistent with the set time of each week. But I mean, with so much going on, it's one day at a time. But we'll get around.
And it's hard. I mean, because our streaming and everything, I'm pretty good at starting at that time.
Yeah.
But I mean, as you know, when we sit down to record our podcast, it could be, whether it's this one or the Talking to K one, it can be...
The Talking to K one is a little hard sometimes, though, because then I get off of work, I come home, and then I'm like, oh, what happened on The Walking Dead again? I remember it,
and we record it the next day, too. Yeah. I know.
See, I wish if we were on the east side, I bet we'd actually be watching it at 9.
No, you know what's funny? Before, when you were down getting the laundry and I was getting off stream, I did pop on the internet real quick just to kind of look at some of the news stories, about something to talk about. And The Walking Dead review was already up. And I just hurried and crossed it out and didn't read.
Yeah, see, because on the east side of the country, they're 2-3 hours ahead of us, whereas we're not gaining it. Mm-hmm. And then another thing is with our service that we have, our cable service through. Mm-hmm. My mom has the opposite of what we have, and TV shows for her, for example, when Doctor Who comes up, it's going to be on at 8 p.m. starting her time. Mm-hmm. Well, not her time, our time.
Our time.
Because she's right down the street. But it's going to be on 8 for her, but 9 for us because of the cable service that we have.
Yeah.
Whereas she has DirecTV and we have
I'm willing to bet Walking Dead's probably the same way.
Yeah, it is. It is, because I've remembered when we first got together, I was watching a rerun of Walking Dead. Or, no, it was a tattoo show. And I was watching it a half hour, an hour before you, and you're like, how is you watching it right now? It's not on. And it's just the separate cable companies, but which kind of sucks. But, I mean, it's just that we don't get to the end of Walking Dead and Talking Dead until after midnight. That, you know, I wish we could record it right then and there, right after, but then we're not getting to bed till like 2 or 3, 4, and Monday comes
are
along.
Always hard.
Oh, I know, Mondays are the hardest, especially during the Walking Dead season. Like, Mondays on their own are hard, but with Walking Dead, it's even harder, because without Walking Dead, it's like, oh, I'm passing out at 9? Okay, Monday's not going to be so bad. Walking Dead season? Nope. Gotta stay up for Walking Dead.
I'm staying up till midnight. Some nights 1. You know, when the episodes are an hour and a half, right? You know, so it's yeah. The struggle is real being a Walking Dead fan.
For those people on the West Coast, and Comcast,
and a content creator.
Yes. Life's a struggle.
Yeah, because we have to.
When you're a muggle. Just kidding.
Life's a... Did you say life's a struggle when you're a muggle?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I saw it on Facebook.
Okay, so you didn't come up with
No,
okay, I was going to say that is awesome. I was going to say that I'm surprised I haven't heard that before. I almost said.
You're not on Facebook as much as I am.
I'm not on it ever.
Yeah.
I post on it, but I never look through it.
Yeah, whenever I quote things on Facebook, I flat out say I got it from Facebook. I don't ever try to claim it as my own wittiness. It's like, no, my wittiness
I'm
is
the same
boop.
way. I'm the same exact way whenever, because you know me, I quote movies and shows a lot, and I'll always say movie, TV show, or whatever it's
and it's like even on Instagram, when I come across a very beautiful picture, or like a graffiti, or, you know, something of that sort that I really like, I'll even hashtag found or a hashtag shared. You know, I don't try to claim it as one of my own things. Like,
yeah, what I'll do,
I'll
do like repost and then tag whoever, you know, I found it on. Or...
Gotta give credit to the original. I don't know who had it originally. It was on Facebook.
Yeah. Or if I don't know, I'll say that too. I'll say, you know, don't know where I got this, you know, or, you know, don't know where this came from, but found this here, yada yada.
Yeah. I'm not just gonna try and start claiming things, but yeah, I love Harry Potter.
Yeah, that was quite a tangent we've been on for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, we got more time now, so I mean, it works out, and...
Well, yeah, I know, yeah, our first episodes were only 15 minutes, and I mean, now we have 45-minute ones on both shows. I remember you were like, well, God, 45 minutes? Like, what are we going to do? But 45 minutes flies by, and you remember doing 15 minutes. Like, every episode, we wouldn't be able to even get into everything that we wanted to talk about, you know?
Truth. Hashtag truth. I was addicted to that one for a while,
remember when I came up with that idea for, like, a clothing company or something? Hashtag passion? I like that. It's kind of cool.
I like that you like that.
I like that you like that. Oh my god, yeah.
I am a little delirious because we didn't end up going to bed till like 4 a.m. last night, and I didn't sleep in too late this morning.
Yeah,
I slept
you were
in,
a
but
trooper. You were a trooper last night. I'm surprised. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. I finally saw
Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire last night. Yeah.
Which I've always loved that movie. It's just one of those genuine good movies. It's a little effed up and a little...
I'll scoot that plate over.
Oh. It's a little, some parts in the movie are really serious and some parts of them are hard to watch, but it's an overall good movie. And how he's a slumdog and he becomes a millionaire because he won the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But they think that if you haven't seen the show or the movie, They think that he cheated because
cheating,
he's
yeah.
the first one to ever get through to all of the questions. And it's really, they're asking these questions, it's parts in his life that is the reason he knows the answer, because he is a slumdog.
Yeah, it's an awesome story, yeah, because it literally has his whole life from practically newborn to his age at the current time.
And then I love the end, the final question where he just gets that smile and laughs, and he's like, I actually don't know the answer to this one.
But it's awesome, though. He's literally like, I can't believe it. Like, this is the last question, I mean, you just have to see the movie to get how the question pertains to his life to his growing up, yeah. But yeah, it's super dark and gritty, but it has its moments where it's, it was a very good movie. It's very good.
It draws your attention from the second you put it on, it just draws your attention, because I did notice that. It did take your attention where you're like, well, wait, what?
Yeah, it was one of those things, remember? We actually talked about this not that long ago. That's a good form of storytelling, remember, where it's like, something crazy happens, but then it's like, here's how we got there.
Something crazy
remember,
happens?
we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Remember, I was explaining something to you, and I was telling you that was the form of storytelling that they used. What was it? It was a movie or a game or something.
I'm not sure. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, it was Horizon, remember?
Oh, yeah.
It was Horizon.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because like in the part of the Slumdog Millionaire where when they fall off the train and they're tumbling through the dirt on the hill, and then they become
there
adult.
there was that part that was like Horizon, but
how it starts from the beginning, flashback to the past to how we got there, or starts with the flashback and then shows.
Actually, that isn't the part of Horizon I'm thinking of. It wasn't Horizon. It was something else then. But yeah, I can't remember. I remember because I saw something, and then you watched it later on.
If you know anything at all about me, you know that I really love movies, and I love collecting movies. And there's still so many movies that I want to see. Like, there's the new Justice League trailer that we still haven't watched, but I saved.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we're gonna watch that after this, and then
we'll talk about it next weekend.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it throughout the week. I mean, I'm sure I might mention it on Sports Nerd Web Weekly, we'll talk about it next week.
But another movie that's actually in theaters that I really want to see, that I've heard great reviews about, is the Beauty and the Beast.
It has been getting good reviews, right?
Yeah.
Because I know that it broke records its opening weekend. Yeah, and I heard Logan's really good too.
I heard Logan, Josh said that it's one of the best superhero movies, but it's not only that, it's one of the really overall best movies of how they did it. So it really intrigued me, and I actually do want to see it. But it sounds really good, which is saying a lot coming from me, because I've never really been a fan of the X-Men series, and Logan is his name. Yeah, I've
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
But yeah, Logan. Yeah.
Yeah. See, those ones I've never really been able to get into, but this last movie, Logan, actually does look pretty good, and I am intrigued. And they were saying when I was at my mom's that it has some really good reviews, that it's overall a good movie, not just a good superhero movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been hearing about it as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like the X-Men, and I've seen a lot of the X-Men movies, but I'm just not a huge fan of them like I am with a lot of other stuff, like pretty much Marvel and Deadpool and a lot of the other ones.
Yeah.
Batman, Superman, all that, but...
Thor and
Thor and, yeah, all that, but yeah, because I have seen most of the X-Men movies. I'm sure, I think there is maybe one I haven't seen, but... I've
seen most of them, but it's just kind of been like, oh, there's nothing else on TV, sure, I'll watch this.
That's kind of like how I've been with it as well.
I was actually surprised. Ghostbusters, the new one with the Melissa McCartney in there, is actually on TV now. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's been about long enough, yeah. I'm not really surprised. Speaking of which, actually, you know what I've been hearing? I haven't heard any, official reviews from, any critics or anything, but the new Power Rangers movie
is just released.
I've just seen people talking about it on the Team MZ Discord, and they're all liking it.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm a little nervous about the whole mask thing and how it doesn't, from all the previews I've seen, doesn't cover the full face. But I think
There's
it
a
still
quick
looks
glimpse
good.
when they do have a thing over it. But it
Yeah.
looks like most of the time it's not covering it. But there was a part where
Yeah.
I saw it was all like black visored out.
I'm excited about the Mighty Morphing Power Rangers.
It's funny how they dropped Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, that was my growing up. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
It's morphin time.
Morphin time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the good stuff.
They have to say that.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they will.
See, and anyone our age should know, how do I look? I don't know, with your eyes, Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
You know, like, those are the things we grew up to. So, I mean, I think it's really cool that they're bringing out now Power Rangers, because Power Rangers isn't part of Marvel, isn't part of DC,
No, it's
isn't part of anything.
It's Cybon
yeah.
created it.
Yeah, see, so it's something that we just kind of grew up with, you know, as a show that we always watched.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, I actually saw a preview for The Little Mermaid, but to my surprise, it wasn't your traditional. It wasn't like.
It wasn't just a live action of the classic
yeah.
story. It was an alternate look at it.
It was a completely different twist.
Yeah.
And that kind of looks good, but I was really thrown off by it. I was like, well, what if they do a live action one? I don't know if they could do a live action one for Little Mermaid though.
I'm sure they could. I mean, obviously they can. But
Yeah.
a good one, that's debatable.
That's like that one other movie that I can't remember the name of, but she's a mermaid. She's blonde. I don't know. It's an old movie. I like movies.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I've always been a huge movie buff.
So maybe we'll go out to the movies soon and see Beauty and the Beast.
Well, one thing I want to mention, you were saying how your mom bought Assassin's Creed, so pretty soon we should finally have our
Review, yeah.
our thoughts on that. We'll talk about in a future episode.
A
Really soon episode.
Yeah, she
hopefully.
actually got a copy for Madison for her birthday.
Really?
Of Assassin's Creed. So, I mean, as soon as she watches it, I'm going to be like, okay, here's Slumdog Millionaire. Trade you for Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just want to see it just so I can form my own opinion. I know a lot of people didn't really like it. What I have heard from the criticism, if it is that big of a deal, I can see me not liking it too. Because what I'm talking about is the thing I heard a lot about is that most of the movie actually takes place in the current time, not even in the old. In the old time.
And it's like, you know what they do sometimes with movies is they show all these previews and it looks really good and you laugh at the previews and you go see it and come to find out the only good parts of the movies you already saw in the previews.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get the feeling it might be one of those kinds of movies, but I can't judge too soon.
Actually, that's kind of what I heard, is like the bits that you see from the old time, like that's kind of like most...
Like the good bits are in the previews, yeah.
Yeah. That's literally like a lot of the criticisms that I've heard about it.
It's so disappointing when that happens, because when you see a preview and it's funny and it's good and it makes you laugh, like the most recent previews for Guardians of the Galaxy, you know how they're all good, but then you actually go in and you see the movie and you realize that the only good parts were the previews. It's so disappointing because you
Guardians
get
of the Galaxy, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
folks.
no,
you know that's
God,
going to have a
no,
ton of funny moments.
Yeah, because you know you can kind of get a hint of the humor, and then you watch the movie and it just explodes with everything you not necessarily expected, because sometimes it's unexpected, but it explodes with more of that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it just brings it up even more. Whereas other times when it's only the commercials that are good, you're like, oh, that's disappointing. Why did I just, oh, well, darn.
Yeah, it's like I literally didn't see anything that I hadn't seen already in the previews. You know, like one of those. I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of movies that I've seen that are like that. The one I hate sometimes that even happens is, like, you'll see a preview for a movie, you know, it looks good or funny or whatever, and then you see it, and that part isn't even in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, Half-Baked. I remember when Half-Baked was coming out, right? There was this clip in the preview of Jim Brewer going, I'm a professional pole meter jumper, and like tries jumping it and like just racks his nuts so hard, and like it was so funny in the preview, and it's not even in the movie.
Yeah, that has happened a few times before too with a few other movies I've noticed where you see it in the preview and you wait to see it in the movie to see what the backstory is to it, to what led up to that, and it's not even there.
Yeah. Because sometimes they release trailers before they kind of do some more editing and cutting.
My main number one reason why I love buying so many movies is for some of them have deleted scenes.
I'm always a huge fan of bloopers and...
Yeah, oh god, I love the bloopers.
I love looking at behind the scenes for movies and shows and stuff. Like I like seeing how they do stuff.
I really enjoyed how Until Dawn had that backstory. Mm-hmm. It had that additional information about, you know, each character and this and that. It was like a movie, and I enjoyed it. I didn't unlock all the information because, like, all of my people died, except for 2. But we can retry again.
I need to start showing you some things about the next one that's coming up.
Ooh.
The next game that's like that. It's called Detroit Becoming Human. Or Being Human. Being Human or Becoming Human, something like that. But it has to do with that kind of synths, artificial human kind of type thing.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And it has a real person actor in it, you know, like... I'm not positive if it's the same studio that made... Until Dawn, but it's just like it. It's just one of those things. I think it probably is, though. I would almost put money on it that it is the same studio. I just haven't really looked at that much stuff about it. I think it might be a game coming out this year. It might be this year. I'm not too sure, but.
Well, did they ever remaster? Was it Heavy Rain or?
Heavy Rain, I think, is on PS4 now.
Yeah, see, I would like to play that one, because you've told me so much about that one, and I would actually like to try it.
Yeah, the first game I ever played of those kind of really cinematic games like that what the hell was the name of it? Indigo Prophecy.
Mm.
And the studio, it's like Quantic Dream, and they're the ones that made Heavy Rain. I don't think they're the studio that made Until Dawn, though. What was the studio that made that?
I'm not entirely sure.
It was Supermassive Games.
I really like the storyboard games, because the cinematic, per se, I really enjoyed beyond that little bit that I did play it.
So I'm wondering if Supermassive is a studio branched off of, like, Quantic Dream, or they just kind of took that... I mean, it is a little different. The way, like, Indigo Prophecy was and stuff, like, it was weird, like, kind of how the control happens, but it's the same way, like, really cinematic, and you just kind of hit buttons here and there.
We should look into that. Maybe my birthday, get me Heavy Rain.
Yeah, I really want to, because I really wanted to play it too. I haven't played it. I have read a lot about it. It's kind of like a cop chasing a serial killer. I heard it kind of has like comparisons to the movie Seven.
Interesting. You know what I really like? That birthdays are so close.
I do like that. I do like how they're close, but not crazy close. Like days are a week apart.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird if they were.
So, I mean, it is at least...
within a month.
Well, they're almost 2 months. Because mine's at the beginning of March and yours is the end of April.
25th and 5th.
So it's even more than a month and a half. It's not quite 2 months. It's about a month and like 3 weeks.
Yours is on the 5th, mine's on the 25th. Haha, we both have a 5
Or it's about a month and a half, I guess. Yeah, something like that.
Give or take.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So they're close, but not too close, so I do like that.
And with this being the last week of March, Doctor Who is coming back.
Yes.
April.
We're going to have some Doctor Who hype in a couple weeks is when it's starting.
And we're going to watch it because that's what we do on Saturday nights when Doctor Who...
We might even start a Doctor Who podcast.
I'd be down for that.
Because we're not going to be doing Talking Decay during the off season of Walking Dead.
Yeah. You know, I really meant to work on my puzzle today.
So, what do we call it? Who cast?
Who cast?
Talking Who?
Knock knock. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But no, like, I meant to work on my puzzle today because I've been doing the Nuka-Cola Fallout puzzle and I'm getting kind of stuck on it to where, like, I don't have the availability to pull out all the pieces and lay them flat and then, like, really look at the big picture and find all the pieces. So I kind of have to search through a box and only lay out certain pieces and not hope it doesn't get overcrowded at one point. And I've just kind of been getting stuck on it. That I was going to work a little bit on it today, but I ended up not doing so. But it's going to come around, and once it does, if you follow my Instagram, you can see the progress on there. It is up. And then you'll see the finished work, and we'll get that framed and put in the office room that we're going to have here with the setup of everything else.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, so with a little under 10 minutes left, I finally want to get into Destiny.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the leak, there was a big leak. Some images surfaced of, it was from a GameStop in like Paris or France or something. But it was a picture someone took of some promotional posters that were like sitting on the desk is what it looks like on the images.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a poster of Destiny 2, and it had the Guardians on the cover. It looked just like something that Bungie would do, you know. It's really reminiscent of all the other, like, Destiny poster
styles
art.
And
Exactly.
yeah.
And it said Destiny with a big 2 behind it. Huge, big number 2, so it's very evident that it's a sequel, not like just a big expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And then above it, it said September 8,
Which means September.
which is easy to translate into English, the 8th of September.
Mm-hmm. And here's the funny thing about this massive leak on Destiny 2 is Bungie has not denied it.
No, and admittedly, I haven't really done any research and followed up on it. When I saw this, I immediately... It was when I was sitting down to record this past Thursday's episode of Destiny Unplugged, so you can actually go back and watch the most recent episode of Destiny Unplugged for the full story on it. And it does have the images. It does have the images of the posters on that episode as well. But holy brain fart! It was.
Which there was actually a podcast showing the new armor and everything else.
Well, it was the stream. You're talking about the Bungie reveal stream.
But with that leak, there's a good chance they're gonna have a beta for Destiny 2. Over the summer. Yeah,
it did, and on the bottom of the poster, it did say beta, something about a beta in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is also worth noting, up in the top right corner, it also had that blue logo that said, like, exclusive content for the PS4. So it looks like that they're still going to have exclusive content. Because, you know, remember I told you how the PlayStation 4 version has some things that the Xbox version doesn't have? It looks like they're going to continue with that.
Mm-hmm.
And... from what that poster looks like, the beta might only be on PS4. But if it is, I think they would probably have an Xbox one later.
But before the release.
Well, yeah, but before the release. Maybe, I mean, because E3's in June, and that's when everyone's expecting it. So I can see them coming out at E3 in June with a big reveal and saying, you know what, the beta's right now. They've done that before. Or not them, but studios have done that a lot before. The beta's like right now. I mean, they've done that like on the stage at EA, said you can play it right now. I think they'll do that. And then maybe the Xbox will get one in like July. Because then you have the release in September if that's when it's going to hit. And it's oh yeah, that's what I was going to say when I had the big brain fart. Someone came into chat today, another Destiny streamer, and we were talking about the leak. I asked him if he's seen it, and we were talking about how it kind of felt like Activision or Bungie kind of orchestrated it. And then I asked him if Bungie had denied it or anything, and all he wrote back in chat was poster confirmed. So I don't.
Sorry.
So I don't know. I'm gonna I should have done the research before this episode, but Yeah.
There'll be more to come on the Destiny
when we're
thing.
done recording, I'm going to do some research and see if Bungie has confirmed
And then
it.
we'll get back to you on our next week's podcast. Sorry, I was screwing with the mic like I usually do when I'm not supposed to, and it jumped out of my hand. Those kind of things happen to me quite a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, whenever there's been like, I'm doing quotations, leaks happen, and there's been a lot of absurd ones, and whenever those really fake absurd ones happen, Bungie is really quick on getting on Twitter and squashing it and setting it straight. And as far as I know, like, that hasn't happened yet. So, and even that day when I was making that video about the leak, I was saying, like, this seems really legit. Like, the poster looks legit. It literally looked like it was a picture of, like, someone just hurried and pulled out a phone and took a picture of some posters sitting on a desk at GameStop.
That's what it looked like. They got the shipment in, but they weren't supposed to release it yet, but then they did.
Oh, on
because
the
there hasn't been any word of any kind of penalty for whoever did it.
Well, I mean...
Usually there
isn't anyways, but... what's interesting is they talked about this on the Destiny Community podcast. I think Pope Bear said it. He was like, stuff like this happens, and it's, like, it easily could have been they accidentally sent them the promotional material too soon, or sent them the wrong package or something. You know what I mean? Just some kind of mix-up where they got those promotional posters a little too soon. Because like me and you were saying, we have... Oh yeah, this is another side note. Age of Triumph is going live Tuesday. So we have Age of Triumph going live Tuesday, and then like I was telling you, right after that, right after that is when Destiny 2 the hype train for Destiny 2 is really going to start going, because Bungie has made it very clear that Age of Triumph is a celebration of everything that Destiny 1 is and was. And that after that, it's nothing but Destiny 2. They made it very clear that this is the last live team update for Destiny 1. And and then how they're doing these weekly rituals every week, I think that's a good way to keep the content fresh. Because remember, I've said this, they have to keep the Destiny community occupied throughout the summer, right, to get us into the fall for Destiny 2, if it is the beginning of September. And it's worth noting, September 8th is a Friday, which we're seeing Friday releases more often. But it's also worth noting, I'm wondering if it's like September 8th in Europe, since these were European posters. And then if that's the case, then maybe the Tuesday, which is a common American video game industry release cycle, would be September 5th. And that would be amazing if they're doing a staggered release, like America September 5th, Europe September 8th, to ease up stress on their servers, because look what happened when Rise of Iron went live.
That's true.
Like, they flipped the switch, Rise of Iron went live, and servers took a massive shit.
That's true.
And they were down for about 2.5, 3 hours it took me to get in.
Yep, yeah, I know, and you were watching Tefty when that was happening too, and you got in right at the same time he did.
Me and him got in at the same time.
Which reminds me, they have a new video too.
Yeah, their vlog, right? Yeah, we're going to watch a new episode.
Yep. But we do thank you for tuning in and listening to us jibber jabber for a good 45 minutes. If you have any questions or reviews or any comments, let us know.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, just leave them down in the comments down below. Because we also post this on the blog, on our WordPress
on
blog,
Facebook.
on
if
Facebook,
any of you Facebook people
Twitter,
are out there, just leave comments on the post.
Or you can also email the show at soldierfusiononlyshow@gmail.com.
I always forget we have that email.
Yeah, we did set up a show email.
We've never really checked it.
That's true.
Maybe we should check that.
Rip the dream, right? All right, but yeah, and then as always, remember that tomorrow we will be uploading
Talking
Decay. So we will be discussing tonight's Walking Dead episode tomorrow
as well, and thank you once again so much. I am Fusha only, and we appreciate you listening in to our podcast.
And also, I know I'm waiting till we want it to go down to 0. Because when you stop it, it does this weird, stupid thing. But we will also see you next week for this show. Next Sunday evening on YouTube. Have a good one.
We will check our email.